Welcome to this meditation on finding peace during challenging times. So find a comfortable position, either sitting upright, laying down, really any position that feels good to you. I'll be guiding as if your eyes are closed or you're focused on one spot as opposed to a more mindfulness based meditation where you might be doing the dishes and things like this. Of course, utilize these meditations in whatever way feels helpful for you. But I'll be guiding as if your eyes are closed or you're really getting still, giving yourself some reprieve from the challenge of these lives, right? And so as we get quiet together, we'll just take a moment to appreciate where you can attune to challenge that might be recent or might be currently with you in some way, and peace that's also here, maybe comfort or safety that's also here. And how often in our human experience it is a mix of these two seemingly opposite states of peace and ease and comfort, and challenge or fear or discomfort in some way. And so as we get quiet and just are willing to notice what's here, it's as if we're automatically opening space to allow all of it to be as it is, what it is, without needing to change it or control it. We're just willing to be with what's here. And so breathe and let that open in whatever way that makes sense for you. Letting this space that allows it all to be what it is, to simply open. Maybe allowing the breath to be this reminder of opening space in the lungs, opening space in this more ineffable awareness, creating space on the in-breath and letting go on the out-breath, letting go of anything that might limit you, hold you in some sort of contraction or doubt, just letting it all go, making space. And so we'll notice as we begin to get quiet that making space means that some things will kind of disperse or become diffuse more easily. It's as if the kind of outer layers of what might be hanging on us can really easily just fall away, come clear. And what this does is gives us more clarity of what else might remain. And what will be more obvious typically is the challenge or the challenging things, right? And so we're just going to allow those outer layers to continue to kind of settle, release, and make plenty of room to just be with and acknowledge what else remains. Finding peace during challenging times. God knows these are challenging times, right? We can feel that. And we're all in this together. Here we are, challenging times. Yep, here we are, right? And I don't know about you, but I love being here. I love it. I love even the challenge of it, right? This has always been in my makeup of like, always up for a challenge. And I know you can relate to that in a way too, of like, yeah, I can step into that challenge, see what we could do, and see perhaps how we might dance with this challenge, becoming a good dance partner. I've recently begun kind of learning how to dance at a little local class taught by an exceptional teacher named Jasmine. It's technically a Nia class, which is part martial arts, part dance. And Jasmine is just this phenomenal teacher. And so learning how to dance and this concept of dancing with this more ineffable space of our inner life really applies. Like the same way we learn how to dance with a partner or a group applies as like a transferable skill with how we dance with our own inner life, with our own challenges, right? And so notice what that does as I name it that way. Maybe that brings up imagery or memory or some sort of feeling within. And sometimes as someone guides you like this, it makes it easier or lighter. Sometimes it kind of brings up what might feel even heavier or something else. But know that your experience in this moment, in accessing this meditative space and with this intention to find peace amidst challenge, your experience is always just right. There's nowhere to get. There's nothing in truth to change, to fix. Just the willingness to be here as you are with this incredible constellation of experience that you're having, right? And so the one place we can kind of go when we meditate like this is wanting to create a certain state, a certain inner experience, and then hold on to it. And in my experience, when I have tried to do that, it doesn't work, right? We can intend towards, and so in this moment, we're intending towards stillness, quiet, and a depth of meditation or conscious prayer that would feel healing to you, feel nourishing, feel helpful in some way. And that's it. It's this very simple practice that becomes a dance with what is. And when we dance, sometimes we stumble. Sometimes we feel embarrassed or don't know what to do or how to move, right? Sometimes it feels so easy and we just don't want the song to end. We love the moves. We feel good. And usually it's like a mix of all of these states, ever-changing inner states in relation to what's moving outside of us, what this world is showing us or offering us, right? And so in this meditation, we'll be intending to become the most playful, receptive, graceful dance partner between peace and challenge within ourselves, right? As if we can hold these two seemingly opposite states as if they're just one dance partner that we're dancing with that offers both and everything in between, right? We can't know what peace truly is in this world without also knowing what it's not. How would we know what it is? If it were all peace all the time, how would we even know what that is? It would become this kind of whitewash, right? It would just merge with everything. And there's truth to this as we move into a unconditioned quality of experience, this like huge field of love that we're all being birthed from, we could say, that is peace, But in this world, in a conditional world where we're physically alive, because there's also physical death, there's this need for conditions, ever changing conditions. Like we can't be alive without the breath going in and going out. It's a dance of the breath. If it were static, we wouldn't be able to breathe, and therefore there'd be no life here, right? And so as we meditate, we learn how to be with and attune to this dance of our inner conditions from that unconditioned witness that says, I can hold all of this. I can be with the peace and the challenge equally, right? So we're going to take a minute in silence together as we deepen in. And notice what it is that offers you the anchor back into the present moment. Is it the breath? Is it the body sensations? Is it, if you've worked with me before, you've probably tried out the roots, letting yourself energetically root down. Finding some way to kind of locate your attention and just rest there. Okay. So we'll be silent for 1 minute and then we'll begin moving on. And let yourself enjoy this settling into silence for a full minute. And if or when you feel yourself get pulled into thought, you can celebrate that you've noticed it, right? Ooh, I got pulled into thought. You're still meditating, I assure you. I appreciate how it can feel really lovely to not get pulled into thought, right? And this is just one way we can understand peace and challenge, right? The assumption of what peace should look like or feel like is kind of a part of the challenge, our expectation that we put on ourselves, and then this kind of implicit judgment of like, I didn't do it well enough, right? And we do this to ourselves. We all do. It's just a part of our culture right now, our conditioning. And so right now, as you're letting yourself get as deep as you can offer yourself a little levity if and when you notice that dance getting pulled into thought, and that you're noticing that you're still here. The part of you that can notice getting pulled into thought is always awake and is completely unperturbed by thought, right? Just noticing it. And the part of you that feels frustrated by this might benefit from some care, right? Like, oh, I see you feeling distressed by the fact that you feel like we're not meditating well enough. Oh, honey, it's okay. You're doing just fine. You're right where you need to be. And so we kind of, like in psychology speak, it's like reparenting ourselves. Oh, honey, I get that. That makes sense. We're annoyed with ourselves right now. Yeah, I'm right here with you. I'm not annoyed with you. I love you. You're right where you need to be, And kind of feeling this essence within, that gentle, kind honest talk, self-talk. We all can use that at times. And when we meditate, it's as if there's enough quiet that we deliberately cultivate so that we can hear that inner voice. We could hear this interplay, this communication between different parts of ourselves. And this is what, if all of the warring parties or countries in this world could do that, could get quiet enough to want to hear each other and talk to each other, the world would shift quite quickly. And this is challenging. This is hard to do. But we start here. We start with ourself. How willing are we to make peace with our own challenge? With what we've pushed away, wished were different. You just pull that close. Say, oh, sweetie, that makes so much sense. I got you. I love you. You know? And so notice where you are now. The invitation in this meditation with all of mine is to go as deep as you can. And this is never by force. It's never by judging if you're not feeling like you're getting deep. But it's recognizing if and when your body is fidgety, you're letting yourself kind of move around and scratch the itch that comes up and things like this, that it might keep you more on a surface level, more surface level. There's nothing wrong with being on a surface level, is there? It's still meditating. It's just also recognizing you have the option and the agency to gently kind of permeate deeper into yourself and inviting the body to get totally still, noticing maybe the urge to move and not move, tends to invite this reminder deep within of how still you can actually get, you know? And it doesn't mean that the body has to be still to access this, not even a little bit, but when we're practicing and we're looking to access more easily that quiet depth, it can be helpful for a time to allow the body to be totally still. And if it feels helpful for you, just be aware of where your attention is right now. Where is your attention? What is it on? And let it be where it is, what it is. And at this point, for some of you, you're going to be deep enough where you can kind of let my voice fade out and you just go, you play, you do it, you do you. And if you would still like guidance, I'm going to keep us kind of moving. We're going to become aware of what feels peaceful within you right now. Where or how is there already peace present? And feel that, know that, get close to that. Let it saturate you. This incredible peace. Even if it's just like a little part of yourself, a little layer, place within the body. Let yourself become really curious about this piece, getting to know it. How can you tell? What does that feel like? And if it's hard to find something that I like to do is just inviting a little micro smile of the eyes, the muscles of the eyes or mouth, where it's like barely perceptible, but just a little invitation. And there's a levity that comes with this energy of a smile that holds a tone of peace, a quality of peace. It's essentially a part of you recognizing the choosing of this moment. I like this. I like this moment. You know, do I agree with everything in this moment? Maybe, maybe not, but I like this moment. I'm choosing it. So the more we kind of choose what is, the easier of a go we tend to have at accessing the peace in that moment. And so feel that. Let yourself maybe expand into how or where you're noticing that peace. Really feeling it. So we think just enough about it to then let go of the thinking and just drop into feeling in some way. Yeah. And then you can be simultaneously aware of something current or recent that rings in challenge. And it might be an event that's like a story you might hear yourself telling yourself or replaying. It might be a physical sensation or an emotional experience or something else. There's really infinite expression. And all of these words I'm saying are never going to be quite it. It's just the words kind of point us to a depth of experience that's looking to invite the challenge that might hook us to some extent to also be here in the midst of this peace that you're accessing. Right? And as you invite that challenge to be here, just notice how you can tell it's challenging. And often thought and feeling go hand in hand. They're a wonderful team. They work very closely together. And we could celebrate this teamwork of thinking about the challenge and then feeling it in some way. And that there's nothing to fix. We're not looking to fix the challenge. We're simply deciding to get to know how we are relating to it. And in this desire to get to know, you're looking from a part of you that's not the challenge, right? If you were so in that challenge that, if you were kind of identified as it, you wouldn't be able to look at it from this bigger vantage point. And so you're noticing in this moment, oh yeah, there's a part of me that can be with this and not fall into it even a little bit. It's just being with it. Maybe parts of you will kind of fall into the gravity of it, and that's not a problem because you can decide to step back out of that, right? We notice, oh yes, I fell into that story a little bit. You're still here. You're still meditating. It's okay. And so the peace is one that doesn't resist any of it, doesn't try to change any of it, and is very courageously willing to just be with this challenge. And something magical happens here, truly. And it's not like an external magic, like something that you don't know. It's your own magic that says, my willingness to consent to this challenge and feel it, know it, be with it in this way allows it to take a step, allows it to evolve into something else, something new. You might not even name it a challenge anymore as you get to know this thing. Maybe, no rush. And so right now, as this challenge is with you, just attune again to that peace, how or where you felt the peace within. And let that peace now grow bigger than the experience or attunement to the challenge. If you're new to this, there can be parts of your intellect that are like, I don't know if I'm doing it. Am I doing it? And we can just, shh. We could shush the intellect, not in a demeaning way, but in a like, you're okay. You're doing it. I got you. You're doing it. And so breathe and allow that peace now to become really felt across all of the body, full body sensation of this tone of peace, comfort, safety. Really feeling as if every little cell in the body can like hum at that tone and decide that you can feel it. Only you can do this, deciding to feel that tone, that peace. And you can, I assure you. Even if it just starts in the little muscles around the eyes or mouth with that micro smile, inviting all the muscles around the head or jaw to relax and let this in. Let in that energy of the peace of that smile that says, yes, I like it here. Even with the challenge, I like it here. Beautiful. And now see what this challenge that you're working with is like right now and where it would like to go, right? It may be like morphing into some other form, some other story or memory or experience, and just let it move. Sometimes it's as if we invite it to walk alongside us for however long it needs, as if it's like a little child that just wants its hand held. We're like, oh, of course, what a delight. Ooh, I get to walk with this sweet little child. Like, sure, we can do that, right? And I can appreciate how that might not be accessible right now. Right now, this challenge might still feel like a ton of bricks. And so the invitation is just to consider, well, if it's that, what do you want to do with that ton of bricks? Can we set that down for a little bit? Can we invite something else to carry that with you for a while? Maybe like a big red wagon that we just pull behind us, or just kind of leave it where it is. We don't even need to necessarily bring it with, right? Especially if it's that heavy. Might just want to ground somewhere. We could just let that go. Knowing that you can come back to it anytime you want. So it's safe to set it down. It really is. It's safe to set this down. And so when you're ready, we can kind of clean slate the experience of this meditation so far and just come back to something really simple like your breathing. Noticing the body breathing itself. Like, what a miracle that is. It always makes me laugh thinking if we had to remember to breathe, humanity wouldn't have made it this far. The body just breathes itself. It's incredible autonomic nervous system. It's like, what a gift. And as you're aware of just the body breathing itself, see if you can attune to that tone of peace and just breathing. Where is there at least a little thread of peace in being able to breathe in this moment? A little spark of appreciation, gratitude for this breath. And let that spark just spread, feeling that appreciation, that gratitude. Just meet with every little cell of your body. It's as if when that quality of experience meets a cell, that cell smiles. And feeling that gentle smile just spread across deep into the bones and organs and out into the skin and hair follicles, even into the very air around the body, just feeling that light, high hum, that buzz of being alive. And that we're alive here all together in a world of ever-changing conditions. And some of these conditions feel easier for us to have and we want. Some of the conditions feel really agonizing to even know about, to know or hear. And the part of us that's aware of these changing conditions and how we relate to them is the part that's always composed. It's just with, staying with. And I would call that divine love, divine awareness. But we could call it anything. Doesn't matter. So you could find a name for it right now, if it's divine love or this field of awareness that's inherently kind or warm. Inviting a conceptual framework for this very ineffable experience that invites a tone of care, of warmth, of compassion, and letting yourself have that, letting that in. Again, letting the very air around the body remind you of that tone, that it's always here, even in the midst of challenge. Always composed and pretty okay with whatever state is here, whatever inner experience is here. You're safe. We're here together. And so take a moment to appreciate these 30 minutes of self-care you've offered yourself. If you're able to stay in meditation, I would always recommend that. Beautiful practice. It's always a joy and a pleasure and an honor, really, to get to guide you. And I look forward to seeing you next time.